Good morning. We're still in Module 3, Topic 1. Today we're going over Skill 4. Skill 4 asks us to rewrite each expression by factoring out the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor meaning that we're dividing. We're pulling out a number that's in both 6m and in 12. So our first step to do that is to draw parentheses. So right underneath here we're going to draw big parentheses with enough room for us to write stuff inside. Now we're looking at this term and this term, and we want to find the greatest common factor, and we're going to use division for that. What's the greatest number that we can divide 6 by and also 12 by? For this problem, that number is 6. If we pulled out a 6 and put it out here, what can we multiply 6 by to give us 6m? So 6 times 1 gives us 6. And 6 times 1 is 6m, because we can see that 6 times 1 is 6 times m gives us 6m. We bring down our minus sign, and 6 times what will give us 12? And the answer is 2. Now, the remaining factors stay inside the parentheses. That's the 1m and the 2. And we want to do a check. So if we were just to distribute and multiply these, we'd want them to equal 6m minus 12. So our check looks just like this. 6 times 1m minus 2. When I multiply 6 times 1m, I get 6m. Bring my minus sign down. When I do 6 times 2, I get 12. And sure enough, I have the exact same answer that I started with. Let's look at another one here. We have 4m squared plus 16m. I'm going to put my parentheses as my step 1. My step 2, I'm going to look for the greatest common factor. I can divide 4 and 16. I can divide both of those by 4. And in this problem, both terms have an m, right? So I can pull out an m. 4 times what gives me 4? That's 1. And m times what gives me m squared? And that's m. Remember, m times m is m squared. Plus 4 times what gives me 16? That's 4. And I already have the m out here, so I don't need any more m's because this is just to the first power. So that's my answer. I do my check. 4m times 1m plus 4. Sure enough, 4 times 1 is 4. M times m is m squared. Plus 4 times 4 is 16. And I have 1m. And that's the same, so our check is good. Our last problem, I want to show one more variation. Step 1, draw your big parentheses. Look at the numbers. What can I divide them both by? I can divide them both by a 5. What variables do they have in common? They both have an m. This one has a k, but there's no k over here, so I can't pull it out. 5 times what will give me a negative 5? That's 5 times negative 1. And m times what will give me m squared? That's another m. Plus 5 times what will give me 30? That's a 6. I have an m, and I only have one m there, so I don't need any more m's, but I do need a k. So that's going to be a k right there. And we'll do our check. So you can see it a lot of times in the check. It really helps us make sure that we didn't forget anything. 5m times negative 1m gives us a negative 5m squared, plus 5 times 6 gives us 30. We have an m, and we have a k. And that's it. Thank you.